Hey everybody, welcome back to Matt Money. Welcome back to another episode where we're going to be talking about Fidelity and opening up an account with Fidelity. So I've made a video in the past about this, but that was in about late 2017, early 2018. And so some of you guys have been chirping up in the comment section, just kindly saying that, hey, some things have changed. The user interface has changed. And so it's an opportunity for me to kind of create a video and as well give an update and a refresh so that it's concurrent. So if you're investing in today and about May of 2020, this is a video that you can utilize to create an account. And hopefully you can utilize this not only for Fidelity, but let's just say similar to say a Charles Schwab or an E-Trade. It's not too dissimilar. So you can start on your investing journey. You can start dabbling in the stock market and at least getting into a point where you can continue to learn in the future from either my videos or other folks here on YouTube and start to understand what your investing journey might look like. So of course that opens and starts with opening an account. So here we are in May of 2020 teaching you how to open an account in say Fidelity. Easiest way to get started in Fidelity would just go to fidelity.com. And hitting this open an account button here, this big orange button, will kind of show you a multitude of different things, what you can invest in. So on the left hand side, you're seeing anything between a retirement IRA, or on the right hand side, a brokerage account or cash management account. So obviously, if you don't have an IRA or anything like that yet, and you're, let's just say, a couple years in, and you're only saving, let's say, 10 to 15% of your income, I would start with a Roth IRA. Reason being is, if you honestly don't think that you're going to need this money for the next 20, 30 years, and you want to get the most out of it as you can, and you don't think you'll be able to retire before 60, those tax advantage accounts are allowing you to grow the portfolio a little bit faster. Now, of course, in someone like my situation, I have the ability to do a Roth IRA. I do take advantage of it, but at the same time, I invest way more than say 20, 30% of my income. So I do look forward to hopefully retiring early, hopefully within the next couple of years. And so I do want to utilize a multitude of accounts, whether it's an IRA and a brokerage account or cash management account, any of these sort of things to help balance my needs in the long term. So there is other videos out there to help you understand a Roth IRA versus traditional IRA or a normal brokerage account for you to understand what's working for you. In this particular, I guess, video, we're going to be talking about creating an individual brokerage account. So I clicked on the brokerage account button here, and we're going to show here what the next step is. So creating account ownership, you can either make individual or joint. If you're talking about a joint account, that's obviously something that you have to work with a spouse or somebody else, whether it's another individual that's investing in the account with you. But I generally just focus on individual accounts, so that way I don't have to worry about that all so much. But what it's going to ask you is basically, what do you do? So for me, I'm just going to put engineer. I can't spell. So hopefully continue my application. And it's going to ask you a whole bunch of different things, right? So in here you can see I have a lot of stuff blanked out because a lot of this stuff for me is kind of carried over from older accounts that I've opened up with Fidelity in the past. And so I'm not going to show you guys all this information, but what obviously you would have to do is kind of go in and click this edit button, and that would allow you to kind of put in everything that you would need. So in this particular case, in this first line here, what you would see is your name. In this second line here, if you were to kind of open this up, you would kind of see a social security number, your date of birth, are you a citizen, email address, where you're currently living as a person in the United States, and about how many trades you would do in a given year. And so for me, I fortunately have filled all this out already. So you would just do the same for yourself. And then you talk a little bit about your employment information. What do you do? Where do you work? And all that sort of stuff. The one that's a little bit different, and obviously you would click on edit, and that would allow you to kind of input this information for yourself. What this particular part is talking about for account settings is particularly where you want to invest your money when it's kind of just sitting there. And so let's just say you open up this account and you want to fund it with $1,000. Before you start actually buying, let's say, shares of AT&T or an index fund or something like that, it's going to sit in cash, right? It's going to be in some sort of cash equivalent, whether that's in a money market account, whether that's in like just regular old cash that's not really gaining any interest. And so there's a multitude of options, right? So there's a treasury money market fund, there's F cash, which is generally speaking not earning too much, and then there's SPAXX, so it's Fidelity Government Money Market Fund. So you can take a good look at these prospectuses and see what kind of gives you the most return for your money. I generally have been sticking with SPAXX just because it seems like it gives you slightly more interest than these other two, but all of them are cash equivalents, right? So just keep that in mind. You're not going to necessarily lose money on them, but I personally go with the SPAXX just based on the fact that it generally speaking gives me a little bit more interest, so a little bit more income coming from those. Then, of course, you have to answer whether or not you want to receive any documents electronically or elsewhere. And then it's as simple as just hitting save. And then you would just hit review and confirm. So all the information that you've kind of put up here would come up again. And you would be able to kind of say, okay, yes, this is all right. Or you'd edit it as you see fit. You kind of have your government money market fund as you would see fit as well. And you would say, okay, confirm. And then there's a whole bunch of other things, right? So a bunch of other things that, terms and conditions, all the different things that are obviously important with what you're kind of getting everything set up as. So if you have any questions about any particular item or what's going on with any particular item, you can look at any of these PDFs. And then, of course, you would get electronic delivery based off the email address that you had put up here. And then you're obviously telling them what exactly you are agreeing to, right? So are you giving them the appropriate tax information? Are you actually going to open up this account below? You're not trying to scam them or anything like that. So this is kind of like removing liability from them a little bit here. And then you would hit this open account button. So this would actually then open the account, and then you would basically have a brand new account that you can then utilize. So there are other videos where I discuss a little bit about like what you can do and how to actually trade individual stocks, and so I'll probably put those in the description if you're interested, or you could just check my channel out if you're interested in that as well. But this is as simple as it is to open an account. So if you do have any questions, there's obviously representatives that you can call. There's a number here in the upper right, 800-544-6666. And they could obviously help you with any sort of questions you might have. But this would kind of bring you to the point where you would hit, okay, let's open this account. And for that point, you would have to kind of just double check that you selected everything. Yes, I'm fine with delivering these above documents electronically. Let's open up this bad boy here. And that would then allow you to open up your new account. And then you can kind of just hit continue. It'll say congratulations, here's your new account. And then it kind of allows you to understand how you can move money, right? Your beneficiaries, if you want those in there, your goals and strategies to help understand where you would want to invest. And so I think what this is really just trying to help you do is get you off the ground and running, right? Making sure you have the appropriate security selections, making sure that you are able to transfer money, which I have a video on that as well if you guys are interested, specifically for Fidelity, adding beneficiaries, starting to plan whether or not you kind of just want to get dividends today. Maybe that's something that's for you, or maybe you want to get dividends in the future, and then investing in something like an index fund or an ETF might be something for you now, and then in the future, once you get closer to that retirement age when you actually need those dividends, you could sell those ETFs and invest them in, say, dividend paying stocks or dividend ETFs to help get you the income that you need. But at the moment, maybe you're just focused specifically on growth, so that way you get as much money in there as possible. And so that's really it. I mean, if I were to go back to my portfolio summary, it'll show you all the different accounts that I have, my individual brokerage, my IRA, and then this new brokerage as well. So there is a whole bunch of other settings in here as well, which I'll probably create another video just like this to help you guys understand how you can turn on dividend reinvestment, which is a huge important part if you are going to be investing in, say, dividend stocks. And so yeah, I think that that's relatively it. Hopefully this allows you guys to understand how to open up a new brokerage account. Hopefully if you're watching this specifically for Fidelity, and it's not necessarily your main broker, you can hopefully use it for, say, Charles Schwab or somebody else. So hopefully, I know it won't be a complete one-to-one account sort of match or user interface match, but hopefully it helps out a little bit, gives you an idea as to what you need to do in order to create your own investment account. So thanks guys. I'm going to hop over and do a dividend reinvestment video, so make sure that you guys keep your eyes peeled for that as well. Thanks guys. Cheers.